Hey guys, I have decided to start a YouTube channel because I'm absolutely bored out of my mind and I have nothing better to do. So let's hope that my life is fascinating enough for anybody to watch. So first let's start by introducing myself. My name is Amber and I am a mess, and I will explain that a little bit later. So first let me introduce to you my family. And we will start with my oldest. So my oldest is Drake, and I'm just going to show you his school photo, and I'll introduce them when they get home from school in person. So Drake is right here, and he is 12 years old in 6th grade. Then I have Kylie, and Kylie is 9 years old in 3rd grade. Then I have Draven, and Draven is 6 years old in kindergarten. And then my last one, well, not my last one, but my 4th one is Cage. Let's see if you can, I don't know. Hold on. There we go. There is Cage. Well, anyway, you get the picture. There's Cage, and he is almost 3. He'll be 3 in July, and he is my number 4. And then I am also pregnant with number 5, and it's a girl, and we're excited about that because Kylie has been begging for a sister for the longest time. So that's my family. And so now I will tell you why I look like I'm a mess. So I just told you all that I was pregnant. I am pregnant. I am in my 28th week of pregnancy, and I have gone into labor since about the 20th week. So I've had tons of TURB shots and tons of pills to try and stop this labor, so that means I'm on bed rest. So with me being on bed rest, I am absolutely bored out of my mind. So that is why I look like I'm a mess, because I can't really do anything. So right now I have my 3 older ones that are at school, and I have a friend that actually took Cage to play with her daughter while I got some rest, or while I recorded YouTube videos. So I can give you a brief history on my husband and I, how we met. So we've been married for 14 years, and we met in high school, but not in high school. We met high school age. We were both seniors in high school, and I was living out of my car, so I decided that I needed to do something with my life. I had dropped out of high school, and I needed something to do. So my dad had told me that I needed to just get back in high school and finish my diploma and things like that. So I went ahead and enrolled in school, but the only school that I can enroll in was the school that my mother lived, or my brother went to, because my mom was zoned for that school. And even though I was over 18, I still needed a parental consent to register for school. So with my mom, with using my mom's address and kind of where I was in and out of staying, it was about an hour drive to get to school every day. So needless to say, I didn't really go that often. And then I had a family friend tell me that if I had nothing else to do, or I felt like I was going nowhere and didn't know what to do, to join the Marine Corps. So I went to the recruiting office after I just hit rock bottom and I didn't know what to do, and so I enlisted in the Marine Corps. Or actually what happened was I listened to what the Marine Corps said, and they said that they wouldn't take any females that did not have a high school diploma. Now, I had gotten a GED in Utah, but they didn't take GEDs, so I had to finish high school. So then I went to the Army, which was the next door, and they said that they can have me out of there in a week with a GED. And so I was like, oh, cool. So then I went to the next door on the opposite side, and that was the Navy. And the Navy said, you know, with all the paperwork and stuff, they can have me out in a month. And so I was like, okay, I think I like the Navy a little bit better. So I went and did all the paperwork to join the Navy. And so, meanwhile, the Marine Corps recruiter was very set on me joining the Marine Corps. He knew that I had put myself back in school, and he just really needed me to finish school. So there was another person, Josh, my husband, who had already joined the Marine Corps and was just waiting to graduate to leave for boot camp. So he was like the recruiter assistant, so he was helping out after school and such. And so when I was at the Navy office, everybody was outside, as was he, and the recruiter had told him to try and convince me to join the Marine Corps. So with that said, I was introduced to Josh, and then a few days later I decided that I needed to start going back to school regardless. So I went back to school and realized that Josh was in my English class. So he offered to walk me to class, and he was on the varsity football team, and I was just really not popular at all. So he had a lot of friends, girls, boys, I mean, anybody that you can think of knew who he was. So he started walking me to class, and then one day he just asked me if, you know, I wanted to go out with him on a date, I guess. No, actually what he said was, do I want to go to a party with him? And so I was like, okay, I'll go to a party with you. But I was thinking that it was just as friends, because I could have sworn he had a girlfriend. So anyway, he picks me up, and we go to his best friend's cousin's house, where they're all over, I guess, 21, and Josh is 17 at the time, and I'm 18 at the time. And his best friend was also 18 at the time. And then there was one other guy there that had joined the Marine Corps as well that was waiting to leave, who was 18. But that was it. That was all there was. And so I guess they were drinking Boone's Farm and maybe beer. But one of the guys got so drunk that he passed out on the floor. And the other people that lived there went clubbing, so they left. So essentially this party was Josh, me, and his best friend. So that was kind of interesting. So anyway, I stayed out on, well, I wasn't really like living anywhere at the time. So I stayed with him until about 8 in the morning, and you know, we just talked the whole night and didn't really do a whole lot, and it was pretty amazing. And he did kiss me, and that was, I think, when I fell in love with him. So from that point, he convinced me to join the Marine Corps, and I did. And then I started going back to school, and I was able to actually move in with him and his mom. His mom let me move in there so that I can finish school. So I moved in with him, and that was in September. And then in October, he asked me to marry him. And so we kind of announced it to everybody in November when I went up to his family in Oklahoma. We went to go visit his family in Oklahoma, and I went with them. So we kind of announced to everybody that we were getting married. So people weren't really shocked, but nobody really said anything at the time, because he had just turned 18, I was already 18. Granted, we were still in high school, but we both had, you know, chosen to join the Marine Corps, so we were leaving right after we graduated, and so nobody really expressed that that was really a big deal. Even though looking back, it was definitely a big deal. So we finally set a date, March 18th. And the reason we did March 18th, because that was a Saturday during spring break. And we figured we could have a little honeymoon during spring break because come May, after we graduated high school, we were both being shipped off to boot camp. So we went ahead and we got married, and it was a small little wedding with, you know, a few friends and family, but it was wonderful. It was beautiful. I wouldn't have changed anything, I think. So then in May, after we graduated, we both left to Marine Corps boot camp, and I went to Parris Island, South Carolina, which is where the females train, and he went to San Diego, California, and so we were separated for about, I guess, 8 months before we finally ended up back together. So we were back together in North Carolina, and once we got back together, after being separated, you know, from basic training and all that, we decided that we wanted to have a baby. So it took a few months, but, you know, then we got pregnant with Drake, and that's kind of where that ends. So I'm pretty sure that I should not say any more, but to be continued, I guess. If you want to know any more about, you know, during that time or before that time, or, you know, why I was living in my car, or, you know, anything like that, you know, just leave a comment below and I'll fill you guys in on the rest of the story. So for now, that's a good introduction. So I guess you guys comment below if you want more information. Alright, bye.